Strings and More Knitting Podcast, episode 38. We are...
Is this going to count as an episode?
I don't know. No, you know what? I don't know. Who cares?
It's not an episode.
It's not really an episode. Whatever. It's a 37 and a half.
We're stuck in traffic, so we're making a video.
Yes. So it is day 3 of the yarn crawl. Shanna of Lambstrings Yarn, Jaymie of LeslieJeanKnits. Strings and More Knitting Podcast about knittings and crochet and projects, and today the yarn crawl. So we are currently stuck in traffic, trying to get to the, what?
Knitting Cove?
Knitting Cove, right, but it is number 7 on our list. We're probably not going to make the whole day today. This thing is going to move. So
yeah, we're driving.
We're driving.
It's going to be a little shaky.
It is going to be shaky. Thank you. And, so we're on our way to store number 7. We're probably going to have to overflow it into tomorrow. But we are trying to get you some really good footage. We got a couple of stores so far. The inside, what they look like. Yeah, I'm going to have to edit. Yeah, sorry, this thing is falling all over the place. Anyway.
We tried to stabilize it. It wasn't working.
Yeah. So, we got plenty of yarn. So we're going to have a lot to show you guys. I don't know where I'm going to put the footage in somewhere of some of these shops. We're going to try to get the Knitting Cove a little bit because I did get permission from her already. And yeah.
Some shops didn't want us to video.
No, and that's okay. Totally understandable.
The first one or two, they were like, they seemed uneasy, so we're like, we don't have to.
Yeah. But we got the knitting place, and we got the one that we just went to, the Knitted Purl. Beautiful on the inside. Oh man. So we've got plenty of stuff to show you guys. I am wearing my Find Your Fade. Finally, it is done, but I will show the whole thing on the actual podcast because it's huge. Jaymie, what are you wearing today for the yarn crawl?
I'm wearing my Linny cardigan. It's under my coat. There it is.
Linny cardigan.
Yeah, I keep looking at myself and I'm on the wrong side, and that makes me look like I'm looking off to the side.
Yeah, I know. If we look over here, it looks like we're looking out the window, but it's over here. Shaky. Oh, did traffic just let up?
The car's moving.
Oh my God, we were stuck in traffic. Like,
it's terrible.
Yeah, like on a Saturday at 4:30. Like, what is this? So we are gonna hit a couple more yarn stores. Hopefully, we'll get whatever footage we can. Sorry about all the bumping. And oh, I know. We are gonna get back to you guys later.
Everywhere. I think you got an email.
The knitting place. We are in Port Washington. Excuse me. We are in Port Washington at the knitting place. It is insane in here. There is a downstairs. We are loving it. Oh, Jaymie buying more yarn. This is her second trip to the register. But guys, look. They have everything. They have everything. There is Madeline Tosh. There is Malabrigo. We have Hedgehog Fibers. We have everything. It is super overwhelming in here. Ah. Amazing.
No, I just said I couldn't sew.
Katrinkles. They have wrist rulers, you guys. Katrinkles. Oh my God. Look at all these baby minis. Look at how cute these are. And those guys at the top. You have to see those. I almost bought one. I almost got Jaymie.
Oh, yes.
Okay, we are at the Knitted Purl. Where are we, Jaymie? In Oyster Bay. Look at this beautiful wall, you guys. I was like, I have to get video of it. I didn't even look at the yarn on it yet. I know, I am. I have full permission to walk around the store, so that's what we're going to do. And it's a little cramped in here, like as far as panning stuff out, so I'm going to try to get you guys as good of a view as possible. And we're just going to walk through. We're just going to do some walkthroughs. Oh, got some couch over there. Little knitting corner. Oh, I love these fixtures. Ta-da. Oh, some lights. And then I'm going to shut you guys off and I'm going to shop because this is insane. Oh, look at this wall. It's everywhere. Oh my God, you guys. There's another room. This is the Stitches Lab.
So I poked around on her website. This pattern in particular is not available on there.
Oh, I gotta go. This lamp. Okay, if you're worried about knitting storage, you don't know where to put your stuff, we have a solution for you. Hi again. All right, so we have to talk about what we're working on in the car, obviously, right? Jaymie, what are you working on?
I'm working on what I should have been working on all along. I am working on my tremble shawl. Yes. I'm finally done with the light color with the dark stripes. Oops, I think this is the right side.
Ooh, this thing.
So now I'll be switching to the thick stripes will be the dark color. The thinner stripes will be the light color.
Yeah, well, next row,
So
right?
halfway. Yeah, next row.
Next row. Jamie's been waiting for this moment for...
Ever.
I cast it on another pair of socks because
It's how you do.
that's how we do. So I'm using my colorway, Lambstrings yarn, in the Poet colorway. Whoa, this is getting washed out, but oh well, we're in the car, so it is what it is. I am doing the Speckled Space socks, and I don't know who it's by. I'll put that at the bottom. It's bouncy. But yeah, I just kind of made it to the texture. Ta-da! These two little socks. Toe up on size 1.5 US large circular knitting needles. So that's what we are doing in the car today. We are on our way to our last stop for the day, and then we're going to try to figure out how we can get everything done tomorrow. One more tomorrow.
We'll have one more, yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
Run that red light!
Run that red light! Running red lights. Trying to get there.
It was yellow.
That would have been better. Before I was like, just run all the red lights, it's fine.
This is on camera. I've got busted at those twice already.
Yeah. So I don't think that we're gonna. This is very, very short today. We're gonna insert what we can here and there, and yeah. Other than that,
It'll be more like a vlog, right?
vlog, right?
Vlog.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna call this 37.5 strings and more knitting vlog.
37.5.
37.5.
37.1.
Right. So yeah,
Part
that's it.
one.
We'll see you guys next week. Happy knitting. Day 2, Long Island Livestock Company, our last stop. And the whole family is here. The whole family.
Minus Ron.
Minus Ron. This is the actual farm, so hopefully we could take some video when we get in. And look, the kitties are here.
I want to ask about the shearing process. And we will go ahead and shear him, give him a little manicure, pedicure while we have him upside down, and then he'll be all ready. So this is Mumford, and he is a Cotswold sheep. That's his particular breed. They are actually a rare breed of sheep. They're not as common. The reason being they are very unique. They fall in the long wool breed category. So you can notice how different he looks compared to your typical fluffy cotton ball sheep. So he is characterized by these long locks that when I shear, as opposed to it coming out in one big fleece that I can lay out, he just is kind of have a pile of curls, just like your hair would fall to the floor when you get a haircut. The significance of these curls, he is more of a rug wool breed, so not necessarily known for the softest of wool, but definitely known for the architecture or the style or the characteristic of the curls in his fleece. The reason why this particular breed started to die off, they're actually, he's a little on the larger side, but they're not a terribly large sheep. They're more of what would be considered a dual purpose. So meaning there are breeds of sheep that are raised specifically for their meat purposes based on their size and the meat that they grow on their body. Then you have sheep that have a much, much finer fleece. Most people are familiar with merino. So any of the breeds that fall into the fine wool breed category, their main source of interest for people is the wool. A breed like this, they're not terribly big, so it's great for small family farms in terms of as a meat source. And again, with regards to the wool, their claim to fame was actually back in the day using real natural fibers for rugs. And so what happened was as the industry changed and synthetic took more of a role in rug. All right, so these guys have what's called a cloven hoof. And that means they've got a split wall to their hoof, unlike horses, for instance, which have a solid wall. His feet are really not that terribly overgrown because we do try to keep up on them, but I'm not out here in the dead of winter trimming hooves, so this is the first time they'll be done since prior to the winter. Thankfully, there's a lot of sandy soil around here, which does help to keep them trimmed. And they've got dew claws back here that you can see that I also just try to make sure we keep down. This is not hurting him at all. They do have a quick, so there is a blood vessel that I have to try to avoid. If I do happen to hit it, I know it sounds terrible, but it's not the end of the world. Like I tell people, it's very far away from his heart, and I promise he's not going to bleed out. And usually once you put them down and they're in the dirt and their heart stops pumping quite so fast, it stops on its own. And that's really the same for your dog and your cat, but most people are very nervous, understandably, about doing that. And of course you feel bad when you hit that quick. It would also be helpful if he sat still. It's like shearing a 2-year-old, this one. Right? He says, I'm not much older than 2. It's like trying to keep the little one still in the barber chair. Alright, so one of the first rules of thumb, obviously I know that he's a boy, but that's always something I have to look out for. And that's going to take me a little longer as well to shear around, because obviously there's certain parts that I have to avoid, and I'm sure he'd like to have them when we're done. Even though he is a boy, he does also still have teats. And again, he doesn't need those, but I'm sure he still wants them, so those are things I have to be very careful of. And then he has been neutered, so this area just kind of gets cleaned off, but there's nothing vital there, right? All right. You know, their fleece is pretty, it's somewhat very, has a lot of lanolin. So it's heavier than it will be. Whatever the fleece weighs, once you wash it, you lose 50%. Really? Yeah. So, I mean, that's probably maybe 2 pounds. But the other thing is, even if you just look right here, it's a perfect example. You know, you can see all the really beautiful curls from like the middle part of his back. But then you can see all of this, that's called the britch wool. So that's all around his hind legs. So that's going to all come out. That's not anything that I'm going to incorporate in the rest of what I want to work with. So once I'm finished, you know, and he potentially goes away, I mean, right now I will always just bag this up. But then part of my process of getting things ready for yarn is I have a screen that I take all the fleeces out on and lay them out. And then I do all of like the picking and grading and going through and skirting, finding all those coarser pieces, getting rid of them. Any large areas of debris, getting rid of. Sometimes down the back of their neck, they have a lot of what we call vegetable matter. So there's still a lot that has to be done. And then I will oftentimes, if I have a really nice curled Cotswold fleece, I'll save those just as the curls and wash the curls up, and then we'll sell the raw curls.
No more leaves on the street anyway.
Let's go see.
Can you get loose of the smell? You like the smell?